Hey, welcome to a Truthful Groomer podcast, the only podcast where we dismantle the dogma that the patriarchy taught us and confront uncomfortable truths for a better tomorrow. I'm Brooke, your host. So, for this episode, we're going to be talking about the truth about feminism. We're talking about some feminist icons, what it means to be a feminist, and what it means to be a feminist in 2020. And you talk about feminism in terms of waves, really and truly. And for me personally, I guess I don't understand why we need to have a term for women wanting equal rights. I don't know why there should be a term for that. Like, can't we just be people? Like, is need to have a title for wanting to be humans that have the same rights as men? I don't know. We'll leave that up for debate. But feminism in the early stages, you had the first wave of feminism, and that was voting, women's right to vote. If you're a Black or Indigenous woman, you couldn't vote twice. That's awful. Then you get into the second wave, and that would be bra burning and things of that nature. And then we have the wave now. You see Kamala Harris, first vice president, female. And so feminism as a whole, in terms of a title, you'll start to see that, I believe, ebb over the years as we start to integrate equal rights more into mainstream societal efforts and less a thing to be given a title to. Feminists, I guess by a white male standard, they say that we're bitches, we're man haters, but the thing about the white men is they don't understand that, like, there is no such thing as reverse racism. There's no such thing as like sexism against the white male. Like, you can be somebody can be prejudiced against a white male. You can't be racist against a white male. They don't know what it is to experience oppression. I can't think of a single time in history when the white male has ever been oppressed. They always want to bring up the draft, but the draft is gone. It's never going to happen again. And even if it did, like, I don't know that you could consider that a form of oppression, given that white culture is oppression. Like, that is the only thing that white people have attributed to the earth, is oppression of other races and marginalized genders. So to be a feminist in 2020, I think it more so means to continue with the societal effort to have things normalized. Sorry, I think I just got a package delivery. I'm just under my stairs in my Harry Potter room. That's all I do, is just film my TikToks in my studio in my Harry Potter room. At any rate, to be a feminist in 2020, we went through the last 4 years, and we went through these people, Trump's patrons, being emboldened. It's really sad to see that we've gone almost back in history. You see how far we thought we came as women, and in the last 4 years, that was just all demolished by this misogynist man who was put into power. For me, having been the ex-wife of 3 narcissistic abusers, what that did was reinforce my belief that the system is rigged against us and for these white males. So for me, seeing Trump in office and his people emboldened it just totally blew out of the water. Everything that I have thought, everything that I thought was in my head, it was all true. You see how many white narcissists we have hiding, and it's 50% of America. And then it's a whole other beast to see these 55% white women with this internalized misogyny who are believing that they're gaslit out of their own brains, you guys. They're believing that this way of life is normal. Not only that it's normal, but it's justified that women should be treated this way, and that we should all want to be treated this way. I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of The Handmaid's Tale, and it pleases me so that my daughter's name is June, and that June is the main character in that story. That I named her after such a strong fictional character. My daughter's named after June Carter Cash, but the fact that they named the main character in A Handmaid's Tale June, it's like a personal moment of pride for me. That's off topic. But anyways, in A Handmaid's Tale, you see these women and the men are in control, and how they got in control of the women is by manipulating them with the Bible. They took the women who they believed to be promiscuous or harlots, and they said, okay, we're going to make them handmaids, and they were used as chattel. They were just, it was surrogacy by force. And they forced these women who they deem not wife material to have these babies. And how they do that is by raping them. And the men, when they first came into power, they said to each other, they said, well, how are we going to convince our wives that we should be fucking these other women? And the one guy goes, tell them it's in the Bible. They'll believe that. They believe all that shit. That's the way it is out here in the Midwest. They are true. The women are manipulated by the Bible to be the good, God-fearing woman. And that this is where conservative beliefs come from. But the Bible, like that was, you're going to tell me that Mary had immaculate conception? You're going to tell me that Joseph wasn't just a good-natured dude who went along with that? You're going to, like, what is this? What is this that we're still doing thousands of years? It's almost like one day there will come a point in time where we look back on these times, or my daughter's generation looks back on these times, and it will be considered barbaric. I talk to my brother all the time. He's a Gen Z. And the things he says to me, you know, are just like, it perplexes me. The way Gen Z handles things, you know, with such ease in terms of societal interaction. We're talking about feminism, and a part of the feminist movement as women is the transgender women's movement. Transgender women are women too. And my brother told me that when my brother was in high school, he had a friend. We'll call the friend Connor, and he and Connor were very good friends, and he met Connor as a boy. And one day, not long after high school, Connor just started wearing dresses. And I said, Seth, you guys never had a conversation about that, about Connor wearing dresses? And Seth said no. And I was like, you're going to tell me that this was your best friend that you knew as a male, that you knew for years. And all of a sudden, Connor starts wearing dresses, and a conversation was never had about that. And he said, no, that just seemed like something Connor would do. So you see, like, they don't even think about these things. They're so out of the box with it. They don't even think about these things. Like, Seth saw Connor as just an individual, you know, and I'm not saying that we should question transgender people who are one day coming into their own. I'm just saying, like, that's my brother's an individual. This transgender woman was an individual, and they just accepted it as individuals, and it wasn't discussed. One day feminism won't be discussed. Things will just be. One day we won't have to discuss feminism because it won't be a concept. It'll be a normalization. Do you see what I'm saying? The transgender thing is a whole other video. I just use that as an example. But what I'm saying is, going forward, there was feminists who wanted just the very basic rights to vote, and then there was feminists who wanted to be heard. We're the feminists who want to stay heard, and then the next wave of feminists won't even be feminists. It will just be a societal thing. They will just be heard. That's why our role is so important. So that's today's episode. On the website, you can access this episode as well as some blog articles on feminism. On the website, you also have access to the Patreon page, which is where we can discuss our personal stories, and there's a monthly Zoom call. There's also some Truthful Groomer hacks that can help you navigate financial resources. I know things are tough right now. Be sure, as always, to check out Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. And there is some merch on the website as well, some feminist merch. So if you want to go there and check that out. As always, I appreciate you guys coming on this journey with me. I'm super psyched to be here. I'm super psyched to have this podcast. I hope that you guys will contribute your opinions to it as well. And I look forward to interviewing some of you for podcasts in the future. Go ahead on the discussion forum on the website. Tell me what other hot topics we would like to talk about. Tell me what needs to be discussed. Tell me your opinions. I'm here for it. I want to hear it. I want to talk to you. I want to hear you talk back to me. So yeah, this is a new age and we're doing it, guys. Thanks for being here today. I'll see you next time.